Good evening everybody and welcome to this special meeting of the Filey Town Council. Welcome everyone. Warm welcome to our Borough Council. Can I ask that you've all read the emergency evacuation procedures and in the event of the alarm going off, we all make our way orderly down Irish Gate and meet on the corner of Queen Street and Room Street. I hope you've all signed in the event of an emergency. We can account for everyone's safety. The council is recording this meeting this evening. Is there anybody else that wishes to record this meeting? We have a duty of care to anyone who doesn't wish to be recorded. Can I also ask that you turn your phones to off or to silent? And I'd like to call the meeting open. Item number 1, notice of meeting. Thank you. Item 2, apologies.
Councillor Jack Meek, personal commitments. Councillor Robert Hawley, holiday. And County Councillor Sam Cross, holiday.
Do we all accept those?
No, just in Councillor Wright.
Councillor Wright.
Oh,
She remembered before I came.
Right.
Thank you. Do we all accept those apologies and the reasons for them? Thank you very much. Item 3 on the agenda is declaration of interest. Members are reminded of the need to consider whether they have a disclosable pecuniary interest or a personal interest as detailed in Appendix A and Appendix B of the Town Council's Code of Conduct and to declare in any item on the agenda. Therefore, declarations can be made as items crop up. Are there any such declarations? That's proper.
My usual personal.
Thank you. Item 4 on the agenda, public question time. Items on the agenda for members of the public present. No public present, so still on. Item 5 on the agenda, Filey Sports Provision Partnership. Receive a report from Filey Sports Provision Working Group meeting held on the 24th of June 2016 for consideration. You've all had a copy in your pack. Gina.
Yes, the report was explanatory, and there was also a further meeting held last Friday with Mr Alistair Copeland from Sport England, and that was a very valuable meeting. A lot of knowledge was gained on the criteria for the application bid. Do you want to accept that report and move on to point 3 or?
Has anybody got any comments on this report? Do you accept this report? Yes. Thank you. Are there any comments coming from it or anything anybody needs explaining who's not on the working group?
I think it's self-explanatory.
Thank you very much. Then we'll move on to item B. 5B, to consider a contribution up to £1,000 towards a consultation survey for the sports provision proposals, together with an equally agreed contribution from the Indoor Academy and Scarborough Borough Council.
Yes, and from the meeting on Friday, it is envisaged that the consultation letter and the questionnaire will now go out the second week in September. And the partnership have looked at reducing the costs considerably for its distribution, and the Town Council is going to play a part in that, in that our delivery person will be able to assist delivering that consultation letter all over the southern area. And so the partnership have agreed up to £1,000 each for that consultation process, but it's thought that it's going to come in way under that amount. So if you could agree up to 1,000, I'm sure we can do it all under that.
So have we got members' agreement to go ahead with this consultation?
Yeah.
That's cost up to £1,000.
Yeah.
Councillor Mack, you okay with that? Everyone okay?
Yeah, everybody agrees. Okay.
Thank you very much. Moving along at pace, I think it will be faster than we've ever put anything over.
I would just say, Chair, that we do need some form of what's the word I'm looking for? You know that Mr Misfield who delivers we do want some form of assurance that all these papers will be delivered this year. We don't want the carry on that we had with the usual.
I think that matter's been dealt with, hasn't it, Gina?
Well, Councillor Shackleton and myself spoke to him after the last delivery and made it quite clear what was expected. And we can do that again if you'd like to do that.
We'll certainly make sure that the delivery method is robust enough.
Such an important issue at this stage.
It is. Right, item 6 on the agenda, the Edron Centre. To receive the request from the Property Committee meeting held on the 23rd of June, together with associated documents provided by the Borough Council for further consideration as to whether the Town Council should progress its application further for an asset transfer. Now, this evening you've been given an extra report. I'll give you a couple of minutes now to go and read that and rules its content. Anything to add to this, Gina? Have members got any questions they wish? Councillor Wilkie?
I mean, obviously the figure for remedial works and repairs, etc., so it is really quite a substantial figure. Within this, there's no sort of, we'll probably have to discuss it, about the potential of the Town Council moving into the building.
Yes.
So the costs that we have here, obviously, they'll be there instead, won't it? I know that's probably getting a bit off the point, but does that affect the overall financial? Sorry, that's not very clear.
The figures that have been provided by the Borough Council.
So that's as it is now,
as it is
as
now,
a standalone.
the Town Council would have to draw up its own income and expenditure figures. But these are just a guideline for the Town Council to work from.
To take them as it is, as it stands now.
As it stands, how they run it, yes.
Yeah, these, through Chair, are just the draft budget figures.
Yeah.
Councillor Cockle?
Yeah, just to make it very clear, they are the Borough Council's budget figures, as if it continued to run it.
As it was.
So this should be.
As it is.
Councillor Casey?
So the large figure that Councillor Wilkie's mentioned there, 253. It's based on a condition survey that was carried out in April 2013. Clearly, we would have to do our own, I would think, our own condition survey, because I asked the question, didn't I think, and the answer was not a lot. How much of this has been done by the Council since this was raised in 2013? But our condition survey, we might have different priorities, so the figures may not be the same. Could be higher, could be lower, couldn't it?
Councillor
Yeah,
Shackleton?
I'd just like to ask the clerk if we come back with those figures, Martin Pell did say that he would try and get figures out to us of the amount that had already been spent.
He did say that he would do that if the town council wishes to
If we move progress
So
further.
they did agree to provide a lot more information, but at this stage in the game, they did say that they didn't want to spend that time. You know, it would take them considerable time if the town council need to know whether they want to proceed with this or not.
I remember now, yeah.
Councillor Holden-Rose?
Thank you. Just regarding the wages, which I know again is just put on here for us to have a view of, but I wondered what the salary super is at 8,183. I didn't know if there may be clarity given to anybody else apart from the information we've got here. What is a salary super?
That would be super.
Super anyway. And the car allowance and travel, I'm presuming that for the manager to get from the Falls-Grave to the Filey.
Yeah.
And then the other travelling.
Yeah. We looked at the figures and we could see considerable savings if the town council were, you know, against some of these figures. But before we proceed to do that, we need to know whether, or the property committee needs to know whether you wish to have a vision for that building. And that vision would have to, I would have thought, be of some benefit to the community. If you know, if you're going to put a lot of money into that facility, it would have to be commensurate with the value of it to the community.
Councillor Cochrane?
Yes, just to clarify, Chair, on the maintenance cost, although it's identified that, you know, quote circa £1 million should be spent, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will get spent.
No.
It will depend on, you know, availability of funds compared with other priorities.
Councillor Haxton?
I'm extremely disappointed. Going back many years when the single regeneration project came out, I think it was of the order of 3 million came into the area for the regeneration of Filey. And questions then I raised at full council as to why a great percentage of that money was spent in management costs for Scarborough Council, and the rest of it virtually was spent on the Everon Centre, which at the time we looked at purchasing, and we were advised against it because of dry rot and all sorts of stuff in the building. So the council never progressed that, but Scarborough Council actually took virtually 3 million to do it, I think it was. It's somewhere 2.5 million. Or thereabouts in both management and physical costs. Since then, as I understand, again, Councillor Cochrane told us a couple of years ago, there was money allocated annually to maintain the building, but it was never actually spent per annum. It went on other more urgent projects, so it was never actually spent. So now here we are with potentially a bill of $250,000. Yes, it's not, some of it's not totally urgent, but a lot of it is. And it's not the end of it, because they identify things like the external asphalt, the external railings and things, all very expensive, which are not identified in these $250,000 costs. Now, it's making a loss. And yes, we can make savings, but can we make £75,000 worth of savings? Because the TIC is really got to leave out of the equation at the moment, because we don't know what's happening. So there's a potential loss identified for this next year of £75,000, on top of a potential in the next, well, it says 3 years in 2013, so we're actually up that 3 years now. So potentially now there's $250,000 being spent there. So within the first year you're maybe looking at over 300,000 just in. There's no wonder the borough wants rid of it. They're looking for some mug to take it on, because it's never going to be ours. It's only a lease. The borough's going to retain the building, and they're just looking for somebody to take it on and repair it for them, and look after the lease until the lease runs out and they get the building back. Very nice for somebody, isn't it? I wish I could do it. You know, I just think it's a non-starter. It's an awful lot of money. And I just would criticise the borough for allowing it to fall into this state of disrepair. It should never have gone this far. If it had been the Spa, or anywhere else in Scarborough, look what they've spent on that. You know, it should have been spent here as well, and it hasn't been.
Councillor Shaw.
Looking at all the replacements and repairs that are going to be needed to be done over the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years, I feel this building would be a money drain on Filey Town Council. We would need to be absolutely sure that this building could stand on its own feet before we even consider taking a lease on it.
Thank you very much, Councillor Shaw. Councillor Gambel.
I just want to reiterate what my colleague councillor said, because he said what I was going to say. It seems that we are always taking on the borough's waste constraint, we must plough the money in to make it something right, for them to reap the benefits at the end. It's just like the Scouts would let it deteriorate to nothing, and the same will happen again if you haven't spent the money on it. So good old Filey Town Council will take it on, plough money in, and we'll have everybody asking us what we've done with the money. So good money after that.
Councillor Shackleton.
Yeah, this figures show that currently the building is subsidised to the cost of over £50,000. As John said, if you take the TIC out of the equation, that's over £70,000 per annum, which equates to about £1,500 a week. And personally, I can't see where £1,500 worth of new income, where would you find that in Filey? Filey's only small. You know, to find a further £1,500 a week income, I think, would be now impossible.
Thank you very much. Any more comments?
Yeah, can just finish that, Chair, and that's to bring it up to zero.
Yeah. Are we ready to take a decision on this then? Does Filey Town Council wish to take this matter forward? And you have an asset transfer. Councillor Shackleton.
Like my colleague here, I'm totally disappointed that, you know, that the building has got into this state, because, you know, we seem to be taking a backward step at every touch and turn, you know, and I personally don't think we should proceed, but, you know, it is with great disappointment I say that.
Councillor Holden-Banks.
Just putting it out there, if we don't proceed with this, is there any knowledge of what will happen to the building? Could it get knocked down? Could Scarborough Borough Council do anything they wish with it?
Continue as it is, as
Continue
far as I
as it is.
understand it.
Continue as it is?
And each year, if there's a bid put forward for some of the maintenance items, they'll be considered against others across the borough and see what money is available and prioritise.
So then, are we of the opinion that this matter goes no further? Can I have a show of hands on that? Proposer and a seconder?
I'll go with it.
Councillor has to second it. So the proposal is that the council does not proceed anymore with the asset transfer of the Everard Centre. Can we have a show of hands? All those in favour of that proposal?
I'm not in favour.
You're not in favour? Okay, then. And you're not in favour?
No.
Right. Item 7 on the agenda. Request to obtain or present information not being on the agenda. Anything being sent to you, Gina?
No.
Before we close the meeting, I'd just like to say how enjoyable the Filey Festival's been this week. And it's been a great pleasure to travel around to various events and see people enjoy themselves, and I would like to send a letter of congratulations, please, to the festival committees on the council. Everyone's in favour of that? For all their hard work.
We enjoyed the sing song yesterday evening.
Councillor Hackley.
Before we close, I think we ought to write to the borough of Martin Pedley and get the up-to-date figures of what has been spent on the Everard Centre to date. with a view to writing a letter to the board expressing our stuff. But what has been maintained and what hasn't been maintained, and I hope that in the future we're going to keep it up to date. Because as Councillor Cockle says, we're just going to keep it back against the Spa and the Up-Air Theatre and everywhere else. And if we don't put our bits into what we need inside it, then we're going to be lost, aren't we?
I think we passed that point, on the meeting.
We have on the agenda, but do you want that on?
Do you want that?
I think it should go on the
The next
full
agenda.
council
Next
agenda.
agenda.
If we get that information out of him before then.
Well, I think if we're not pursuing the plan any further, I don't think we'll go any further than providing any information, will they?
Well, under freedom of information, put one of those in and let's find out what they are spending on.
Okay, then we'll put it on the agenda for the next